Hello, namaste, annyeonghaseyo. Welcome to my channel Just Do It Like Nikki. I'm Nikita Naguri and today I'm beyond excited to have a very special guest with me. Please join me in giving a warm welcome to Mr. Amazing Charlie from Charlie's Kahani. Nice to meet you, Mr. Charlie.
Hello, hi, nice to meet you, nice to meet you.
Thank you so much for being here and taking the time to join us. I must confess that I'm a big fan of your singing and having you as a guest is an absolute delight. So, without any further ado, let's dive into our interview and get to know more about Mr. Charlie and his incredible journey. So, Charlie, can you tell us about your experience being Korean and then moving to Bihar, India? How did this cultural transition shape your identity and perspective?
Yes, so I basically, actually, I never lived in Korea, to be honest. I never grew up in Korea. When I was 1 year old, my parents actually moved to Patna in India. And so since then, so when I was 1 year old, since then to age 20, about 20 years, I lived in India. I completed my studies over there, class 1 to 12. All my studies was in CBSE board. So basically, I grew up in India. So yeah, just consider you have to consider me as a person who grew up in India, just like all the other Indian kids, right? So Hindi, जैसे हिंदी बोलना इस तरह से हिंदी बोलना that speaking Hindi was just as natural for me as other Indian kids. It was just the fact that because I am a Korean and I look different, people looked at me with curiosity and interest. I got a lot of attention. That was something different, but whatever else I can say, apart from my life at home with my parents, my life outside was just the same as other Indian kids.
Okay. How did you encounter K-pop while living in Bihar? Like, did you actively seek it out or did you just stumble upon it by chance?
I had an MP3 player एक था मेरे पास तो उसमें भैया दीदी like hyung nuna they say in Korean hyung nunas from Korea sometimes visited my place in Bihar Patna. Then they would bring some songs and I would play them in my MP3 player, and that was how I got into K-pop and also K-dramas. I did not I did actively seek out and listen to other K-pop songs. I think with the start of the rise of YouTube, I think when I was about the age of 15, I think 15 or more. I don't remember exactly how, but yeah, I did start enjoying K-pop. I listened to a lot of K-pop and just English pop songs, and I actively seeked out.
What motivated you to create content on YouTube? Like, were there any specific inspirations or influencers that encouraged you to share your stories and experiences?
I was the type of kid who had a lot of aspirations, like a lot of different things that I wanted to do in life. Like I want to be good at cooking, want to be good at sports, dance, music, studies, and like just ton of interests, but never knew what I want to stick with. So there was a period of time during my college year that I determined that I need to select one. I just need to select one in order to move in my life, move on with my life, to actually grow in a specific field. And I chose music because I think music was something that I could imagine myself doing in the future because I loved music. Yeah, because YouTube was also a big thing and is a big thing right now. I mean, everyone just wants to be YouTubers, right? Share their stories. So I wanted to share my journey of becoming a musician on YouTube. And two great influencers on YouTube influenced me to start, and those are Casey Neistat and Gary Vee. दो लोग हैं जिन्होंने मुझे मोटिवेट किया यूट्यूब स्टार्ट करने के लिए. I wanted to make stories like Casey Neistat, share my journey like Casey Neistat, and Gary Vee is a big advocate of documenting. Document your life. He's all about documenting your life. And so I followed his passion and I loved the way he spoke about it. I agreed with him. Documenting your life is fun and necessary for your own growth and learning as well. So yeah, that's how I determined that I need to share my journey on YouTube and I need to pick something, and that was music for me.
Going viral as a Korean Bihari boy must have been quite an extraordinary experience. How you feel about the attention you've gained and the impact you are making through your content?
To be honest, I don't know how much impact I'm making right now because I'm in America right now. America में Iowa करके एक जगह है. I'm in Iowa right now, and things are happening back in India and Bihar, especially in Bihar. So I don't exactly know how much impact I'm making, but what I try to focus is just be genuine, just be myself, and just try my best to be a good person and try my best to live the best of myself, of my life. And that, I think, will create good impact and ultimately help others to do the same, live a good life. So that's what I focus about. That's what I am all about.
Can you share your future plans as a YouTuber? Like, do you have any specific goals or projects you're working towards in terms of content creation and expanding your reach?
Well, future plans as a YouTuber is, like I said, I want to become a professional musician. I never grew up learning music as a professional, never had musical experience, professional musical experience or learning experience. I'm basically self-taught, so I want to see if it's possible for someone like me, someone just, started as a hobby but wants to expand his reach. Someone like me can become big like Arman Malik or, Shawn Mendes or singers like that. So that's the journey that I want to paint on YouTube, and that's my future plan. I want to make that a reality. I want to sing with Arman Malik one day. Yeah, just sharing my story and journey. That's my future plan.
Okay, well, I'm personally a very big fan of your singing, and your singing talent has captured many hearts of the viewers. So could you please perform a little bit of any favorite Hindi song, or if possible a Korean song as well?
Recently, I made a cover of "मैं रहूं या ना रहूं" on YouTube. I'll sing a short, just, a raw version of that. मैं रहूं या ना रहूं, तुम मुझ में कहीं बाकी रहना, बस इतना ही तुमसे कहना, बस इतना ही तुमसे कहना. तो कोरियन सॉन्ग ये इस गाने का नाम है. The song is called 네 생각, which means your thought, by John Park. Let's go. 아침에 눈을 뜨면 네 생각이 나, 창밖을 바라보다 네 생각이 나, 그렇게 멍하니 또 하루가 흘러가, 너도 날 가끔씩은 떠올릴까, 네 생각이 나.
Wow, that was beautiful. Thank you so much for this lovely performance. Next, living in two culturally diverse regions, what are some of the most significant cultural differences you have noticed between Korea and India? Like, how have these differences influenced your worldview?
One of the big cultural difference that I noticed is work culture. The way people work in India versus the way people work in Korea. I mean, I find India to be more like my type. Like I want, things to be a little more relaxed and chill, is how people would say. But in Korea, it's all just fast paced, fast, 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 jaldi, 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 almost like machines. You know what I mean? So that's one of that could, and I don't want to generalize things, but that's something that I kind of noticed, and both have pros and cons. But yeah, honestly, a very big lesson because you can see that there are two countries that work extremely well in their own ways. So, what is right and wrong? In life, I don't think anything is right or wrong. It just depends on what you choose and what you believe to choose and move forward. Yeah, one of the big lessons that I've learned in life.
Okay. Have you found any similarities or connection between Korean and Indian culture? Like, are there any surprising overlaps or shared values that you have discovered?
The way people treat their elders. In Korea, with respect, treating elders is a big culture. India, likewise.
Okay, your content has gained a significant following. So, how do you handle the responsibility of being an influencer and the impact you have on your viewers, especially considering the cultural bridge you represent?
Honestly, at this stage of my career, or, influencer, I don't even know if I'm supposed to use that word for myself. Influencer, it's a fairly new thing for me right now. So I am not thinking about how much impact or how much influence that I'm going to have right now. All my focus is on make good work. Be diligent, be honest, be yourself, and be faithful to others. And people will recognize you, and people will see the good in you, and that will ultimately make a good impact. And being a responsible person is, even if you're not an influencer, just in life you need to be a responsible person. And I think I've done my fair share of effort and put my fair share of effort in living a responsible life. And so I don't know how this increase in following has changed my life, but what I can say is that I'm just who I am. Even when I get huge followings or not, I will try my best to be who I am, to be the best of who I am, and that way, I believe that people will have great impact.
Can you share a memorable experience from your time in India that had a profound impact on you or influenced your content creation?
Yes, because I grew up in Bihar, and you probably know Bihar is one of the underdeveloped states in India. It's changing now, it's developing, but because I grew up in such a state, in my day-to-day life, I was able to experience things that I wouldn't experience elsewhere, like, bijli kat jana achanak, like loss of electricity, small accidents happening, people fighting in the streets, and dogs running in the streets, and things like that. Those are all things that it's hard to find elsewhere. And all those small experiences, especially talking in Bihari style, that is something that has played a big role. The way I speak, the way I talk. Right now, I'm, giving a formal interview. I think I would say this is a formal type of interview, and that's why I am speaking in English with a different accent. But I'm able to switch my accent to the one that you would in Bihari, Bihari style. So in my contents, you would find me speaking in Bihari style. And so that's one of the main attractive traits that I have and that I think people love. And yeah, all thanks to me growing up in Bihar.
Okay, Well, I must mention that I'm personally a fan of your dynamic friendship with India, Drew. So, could you kindly share the story of how you first met him? And I'm curious to know, like, what sparked your connection and how your friendship has grown and evolved since then.
So basically, my parents and Andrew's parents, India Drew, Andrew उसका नाम है. So Andrew's parents and my parents were friends. And so basically, I and Andrew just got to hang out just because of my parents. And when I was in India, their parents also came to India. And that's how we met. That's how we met in India. And just when we were kids, I was really, I didn't speak English, to be honest. I only spoke in Hindi with him when I was a kid. And I was extremely introvert. So earlier, I don't know if we were that close. I don't know about Andrew, but I didn't think that I was that close to Andrew. It's just friendship था. लेकिन उतना गहरा friendship नहीं था. लेकिन फिर भी, I don't know if you would relate with this, but being a foreigner in India, just meeting another foreigner creates this sense of attachment. Like, एक अपनापन टाइप का हो जाता है अपने आप. और उसके बाद, I think I met him when I was in around class 7, 8. I don't exactly remember, but around that time. And then since then, for about 10 years, almost 10 years, we didn't talk. We had no connection. We were Facebook friends, but no connection, no chatting or anything like that. But after I started YouTube, I just accidentally stumbled upon one of my old footages where I was playing with Andrew, doing something. Playing, armless wrestling. I was doing arm wrestling with Andrew, and that just reminded me of him, and I thought I should connect with him. So I reached out on Facebook, and coincidentally, Andrew told me that he actually quit Facebook, but then he just coincidentally, he just thought of checking out his Facebook Messenger. And that's how we got connected back again. Like, I sent him a message on Facebook, and he replied to me like about a few weeks after. But we got connected. I told him that I started YouTube, I'm making these things, and he told me that he was always interested in making content and being on camera. So that's how we clicked, we connected, and I suggested we should do something together. He suggested, I don't remember, but we both thought it was a great idea, because he spoke Hindi as well, and so we thought that it would make a great content. And that's how we started making things. And since then, I mean, we've grown in our friendship, and we've grown as content creators as well. So we almost work together now. So it's a great relationship, I'd say.
Now, what advice would you like to give to aspiring content creators who come from multicultural backgrounds or want to share their unique cultural experiences on the platform like YouTube?
Don't think about going viral. Like, I think there are people who, chase virality, but virality, in my opinion, is not something that you can control. You don't have control over what people like or don't like. It's a fortune if people happen to love your content. That's great, that's amazing. But the first thing that I tell myself always, is to concentrate on the things that I want to share, not the virality. Who am I? What am I best at creating? It's just the two things that I need to consider and be the best version of myself. And rest, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Now the last one, like, have you ever considered blending elements of K-pop and Indian music in your content or personal projects? If so, How do you envision this fusion and what excites you about it?
I've actually covered K-pop and Indian songs on my YouTube channel. So I guess I'm already doing something, right? So yeah, something that I'm extremely excited about is the position that I'm in. I speak Hindi, I speak English, I speak Korean, and I have knowledge of both cultures, Korean and Indian. And so I have the unique ability to work with Indian artists as well as Korean artists. And I believe that both those two are very different worlds. They have very unique musical characteristics and color. And I think I can be someone who can, I don't know how yet, but I think I can be the middle person for that to happen, to blend into cultures. Maybe, Korean composers working with Indian lyricists, things like that. That's exciting, and I'm excited about that. And that's also one of the upcoming goals that I have for myself and my channel. So
Well, thank you so much, Charlie. Thank you so much. Had a great talk with you. Thank you so much for taking the time to be interviewed. I truly appreciate it, especially considering your busy schedule. I also want to express my gratitude for the way you respect and acknowledge small YouTubers like me. So it means a lot to me. So thank you so much. It means a lot as an aspiring creator like us. So I'm very happy to have an interview with you. Thank you so much.
yep. All right, so thank you so much. Thank you so much for your time, and thank you so much for having me. It has been a pleasure talking to you, and I loved your questions. And another thing that I wanted to mention was I noticed you tell yourself as a small YouTuber, but why yaar? Kyun? Small YouTuber. You don't need to say small YouTuber, right? Every big YouTuber was once small. So, I just want to encourage you that you're doing great, and just you're a YouTuber, and keep going. एक दिन आएगा, मौका आएगा, समय आएगा जरूर when you become big, and we'll talk again, we'll chat again, and we'll do another interview. And so, thank you so much for having me, respecting my time and respecting my value.
Oh, thank you so much for encouraging. Encourage करने के लिए बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद. हाँ ज़रूर. If I can make it, then sure. Once I do, again I'm gonna contact you और एक और ज़बरदस्त interview होगा. Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you all for listening. I'll see you next time. Bye.
Thank you so much. So that is it, guys. This was just Do It Like Nikki. If you want to check out the channel of amazing Mr. Charlie from Charlie's Kahani, I've already mentioned its link in the description box. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, give it a like, and also share your thoughts about this interview in the comment section. और मेरा भी channel subscribe कर दीजिए, like and share. Thank you so much. Namaste. Till then, bye.